I would like to welcome everyone here to this important webinar by Dr. Basim Al-Madani, titled University Faculty Roles in Nonprofit Sector Toward the 2030 Vision. I would like to welcome our speaker, Dr. Basim Al-Madani. He is an associate professor in the computer engineering department and the director of Center of Excellence in Development of Nonprofit Organizations. He is also the director of Al Fawzan Academy, Development of Leaders in Nonprofit Organizations. Dr. Basim received his bachelor degree in computer engineering from KFUPM in 1997. And the master degree in industrial automation and the PhD degree from the Institute for Automation, Montana University of Leuven, Austria, in 1999 and 2005, respectively. He joined the SABIC international team to manage industrial automation project in Vienna, Austria. He joined KNAPP Systems Integration in 2001, Leuven, Austria, as a logistic automation specialist. He was also the chairman of the Computer Engineering Department, KFUPM, between 2009 and 2014. His areas of research interests include real-time systems integration, distributed systems, middleware, the Internet of Things, and the IR 4.0. In the social development, he is interested in community needs analysis, social innovation labs, services design, entrepreneurship, impact investment, and the social franchising. So without any further ado, I would just hand it over to Dr. Basim. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mujib, for the introduction. And I'm glad to be with you this morning and to give you an overview about KFUPM role and the faculty roles in the nonprofit sector. You can see my screen, right? Fine.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, Alhamdulillah, we in Saudi Arabia undergoing tremendous development under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdul Aziz, Allah yahfadhu wa yar'ah. And he stated that he would like to see this nation an exemplary leading nation in all aspects. And we are lucky enough to live these days under the current leadership and the 2030 vision led by the Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, where we in Saudi Arabia basically went through different endeavors in the social development in line with the industrial and other development aspect. So this is going to be the outline of my presentation, and I'm going to give you at the end some takeaway ideas as a summary. Then I'm going to take your questions, if any. So let me start this presentation by a very simple question. I think all of us, we heard about the 2030 vision, but the question is, do you know how many programs under the 2030 vision? How many programs do we have under 2030 vision? If you can just text it or voice it. So basically the 2030 vision, the first word in the 2030 vision is vibrant society, or mujtama muzdahir. So the first words in the whole vision is caring about the society, basically, and the people in the kingdom. So this is the main three pillars in the 2030 vision: vibrant society, ambitious nation, and thriving economy. And under these three pillars, there were 12 programs, and nowadays we have 11 programs. The cornerstone program in the 2030 vision is the transformational program, where the whole kingdom is prepared to the transformation of the whole kingdom in different aspects. So basically, we have here on the top the National Transformation Program with its goals and the target until 2025. And one important program also where we in KFUPM belongs to is the Human Capacity Development Program, which has been updated also last month only. So we have a new version of this program. I think as a faculty member, we need to enlighten ourselves about these programs, because there are different areas in this program where we can participate through our majors. There is a little narration or a story how KFUPM basically participated in the social development since 2009, basically. So the story said in 2009, the university conducted a survey for our employers. Those are employing our graduates, and asked them about their satisfaction of our graduates. So the answer was, our graduates are technically good, but they lack some soft skills. So we took that word seriously in the university, and we put together a team to build the best skills program ever in the region. And the team was lucky enough to also consult international experts and put together a very good skills program, and get the skills program accredited by different international bodies. Then the skills program was also distributed to different Saudi universities. Some other universities even have it as a deanship for skills development. And after the skills, we found a research that really turned our life at large. The research said the best way to teach skills for students is volunteering, where they conduct different activities, including analysis, design, team building, presentation skills, planning, and so on, implementation, supervision, reporting, budgeting, marketing, and so on. So volunteering is basically a very good vehicle in education. Nowadays, volunteering is also used as a treatment also for different psychological challenges. So after the skills program, we started in KFUPM the first volunteering units in the kingdom. And this volunteering unit is still running up until now, recruiting students and organizing also the volunteering day in KFUPM for our students. Then we found that volunteering is just one piece of a bigger picture, which is called the nonprofit organizations. So the university decided to start the first Center of Excellence for Nonprofit Organizations Development, which is, as I said, the first of its kind in the region. And the center basically has four major initiatives. The first initiative is an international forum, which is basically a window to the international best practices in social development. And in this forum, international speakers are invited to enlighten the society about the best practices in social development and the expertise and knowledge they have. And then we have a breakout sessions where we discuss internally how we can benefit from those international experiences and practices, and how we can localize the knowledge. Alhamdulillah, last year we conducted the 10th nonprofit development forum in the university. This year, inshallah, going to be the 11th. It's going to be in the second week of December, inshallah. You will get the announcement too. So this was the first initiatives of the center. The second initiative is, again, we conducted another survey to basically look for the best practices in social development worldwide and how we can learn from others, and what are and to ask ourselves what are the main enablers for those nations where social development is very advanced. And we found that one of the major enabler is to have a volunteering standard, and a standard to govern the volunteering process in the whole country. So we conducted also a study as what is the best example for us, and we developed a volunteering standard which has been accredited by the Ministry of Human Resource and Social Development to be the national volunteering standard. So basically nowadays we are hosting the national volunteering standards. We are maintaining it, and we are developing tools and products to spread the knowledge and also accredit the volunteering units across the kingdom. The third initiative is a governance standard also for the nonprofit sector. And the fourth initiative is an academy for leaders development in nonprofit sector. This academy has been approved by the University Council, and then Al Fawzan Group came in and showed their interest to sponsor the academy. And they gave a very generous fund for the academy, where the university raised to the Minister of Education at that time to get approval to establish the academy and name it Al Fawzan Academy. The Minister of Education also wrote to the king to get the approval, and alhamdulillah we obtained an approval to establish the academy by King Salman, Allah yahfadhu wa yar'ah, and establish the academy in KFUPM and name it Al Fawzan Academy. So Al Fawzan Academy nowadays is part of the KFUPM. It is owned totally by KFUPM. It was funded initially by Al Fawzan Group, and now it is under KFUPM management totally. And since then we started developing different.
Excuse me, what is the full name of the academy? Academy for what? Volunteering for?
It is called Al Fawzan Academy for Leaders Development in Nonprofit. أكاديمية الفوزان لتطوير القيادات المؤسسات غير الربحية in Arabic. So the academy now, so in KFUPM now, we have two wings. We have the Center of Excellence and the Academy for Leaders Development. And since then, we started developing different products and services, as I'm gonna show you, inshallah, in the next slides. So this is Al Fawzan Academy. I'm sure you passed by this logo on the academic belt on your right when you enter the main gate. Okay. So basically, this is how we work in Al Fawzan Academy. We are basically contributing in developing the knowledge for the nonprofit sector, and this is one of the main challenges we found when we started the academy, that there is a lack of knowledge in the social sector in different aspects, in leadership, in fundraising, in endowment, in volunteering. In every aspect, there is a big knowledge gap between what we are doing in Saudi Arabia and in the Arabic worlds Arabic/Muslim words and what is going on in the international practices. So there are different indicators show that we have a knowledge gap, basically, including the number of academic programs, the number of research centers, even the numbers of the nonprofit organizations and societies across the kingdom. So we have a long way to go. So we decided to work on developing the knowledge and distribute the knowledge for the generation who are going to make the change in the social development. So these are the main things we are doing in the academy. We are conducting training and certification program. This training usually is a 1-week short course, and then we combine different short courses together with extra activities, including projects and assignments and exams to grant a certification in certain area. So we graduate a certified professional in fundraising, a certified professional in governance, and so on. Alhamdulillah, the university is playing a unique role in the social services or social development, where we are developing standards and qualifications for the regulatory body, ministries, and so on across the kingdom. So now all the regulatory bodies in the kingdom are coming to us to develop social standards and qualifications for their areas. So we are doing a major role here in developing social standards for the whole kingdom. This is something we should be proud of as KFUPMers, because the university is not impacting only the local society of Dhahran or Eastern Province, but it is impacting the whole kingdom, and in the near future, inshallah, the region and the world. We work also on putting together or building academic programs, diplomas and MS programs, master programs. Maybe you heard about the master program we are now running under the KBS, KFUPM Business School, as a dual degree with Indiana University. We are also conducting licensing and accreditation for volunteering units and different areas. And we are also participating in sending some professionals for international scholarship. This is the position nowadays of the center and the academy under the university. So we are basically reporting to the Vice Rector for Research and Innovation, and the center is directly reporting to the VPRI, and the Al-Fawzan Academy is one of the main initiatives of the center. Internally, we operate with the Content and Technology Office, which is the scientific development or content development team, and the project management team, along with the shared services team. We're having now 40 full-timers. They are working with contracts with the university. This is why we call them consultants. And we have around 100 part-time consultants, including some KFUPM faculty. So from our body, 25 people are holding a PhD, and 40 of them are holding master degree. And those consultants here, the 100 consultants, are distributed across the kingdom. Till the second quarter of 2030, alhamdulillah, we managed to establish 315 volunteering units across the kingdom, and also started 110 community initiatives across the kingdom again. We trained more than 17,000 leaders across the kingdom. Those people are serving the community in 3,600 nonprofit organizations in 260 cities and towns across the kingdom. So also we developed more than 30 occupational standards, and based on this occupational standard, we developed also academic qualifications. As I said before, we conducted already 10 global forums, and this year, inshallah, going to be the 11th, and we built also the governance standard, which is applied now on the 3,600 NGOs across the kingdom. So as you can see that the impact of the center and academy is not to Eastern Province only, it is to the whole kingdom. This is a short view on the forum. As I said, we already conducted 10 with more than 90 presentations and more than 90 speakers across the world, and more than 56 discussion panels. This is a very important slide, and this shows you our portfolio, basically. So the volunteering standard is called IDAMA, and this is our major product, basically, because it is now serving the volunteering work across the kingdom. And we have different products and services under IDAMA, including training volunteering managers, providing consultation services to build volunteering units, and accreditation processes, certification programs, and so on. Then we developed a new product, which is called RAID. RAID is dedicated for university/colleges students. This is basically directed towards our youth, and we would like to have our youth aware of the social change in Saudi Arabia. And we would like to enlighten them about the terminology, basic principles, the typology of nonprofit across the kingdom, where the kingdom is going under the 2030 vision in social development, what are the opportunities, and so on. So this is the RAID program, and I'm going to give you more details. RAID is of 3 levels. RAID Basic, which is giving them the basic principles, and then we help them also to go in the social innovation lab to initiate their own ideas and their own social initiatives in order to go to RAID Advance, where we take them step by step to build their own initiatives and to pilot it in limited region. After doing all the required details in RAID Advance and pilot the initiatives, we take them to RAID Professional, where we convert the initiatives to a sustainable body as an NGO or as a social investment or a nonprofit company or whatever official body is. So this RAID program, alhamdulillah, has been conducted now in 8 universities across the kingdom. Our students here in KFUPM are taking RAID Basic. All of them are taking RAID Basic, and then a certain percentage are participating in RAID Advanced and RAID Professional. So this is a major product, alhamdulillah. Recently, Aramco partnered with us to train 75,000 students across the kingdom on RAID Basic and 15,000 on RAID Advanced. And this is, alhamdulillah, a very good step. And we are moving, alhamdulillah, in developing the material, enhancing the material, and enhancing the training of RAID across the kingdom. We have a very good team conducting RAID now in 8 universities, and very soon, inshallah, to 15 universities, because the Ministry of Energy also is very interested in it. We already signed with the Ministry of Energy for RAID too. Another interesting program here is Rashid. And Rashid basically is to manage volunteering within schools. and this was basically answering the question of how we can embed the value of volunteering and giving and be socially active in the students in early stages. So we said we need to make sure that they practice volunteering in a professional way through the schools and spread it from there. So we developed another standards for volunteering within the school environment, which is absolutely different from the NGOs or the nonprofit organization. So we need to re-engineer IDAMA at large for the schools. And this is what we did, alhamdulillah, for 1 year. After 1 year, we took Rashid to the Ministry of Education, and it has been, alhamdulillah, accredited as the first volunteering program for schools in the kingdom. As far as our studies shows, it is the only standard for volunteering in schools in the Muslim world. Rashid, alhamdulillah, is targeting now 24,000 schools across the kingdom. We managed to have a contract with Aramco to cover 5,500 schools, which are basically the high schools. The middle one here, Mu'in, is for volunteering in the private sector or in basically volunteering by professionals. So now, as part of the new regulations in Saudi Arabia, most of the organizations and ministries are linking the annual evaluation and appraisal to community service and contribution. So we are here helping professionals in the private sector and in the public sector to engage with the community actively and in an impactful manner. Where we train the basically the professionals on the basic principles of social work and social development and how to make impact, and make them able to talk the same language the organizations or the nonprofit organizations are using. So when they communicate and participate in social activity, they know the basic principles and the language. At the same time, we prepare also the organization to receive professional volunteers. So nowadays we have the general volunteering, professional volunteering, and skilled volunteers. So we prepare the professionals from the private and public sectors to participate in volunteering with the organizations in the social development ecosystem at large. We have other 3 products here, Tamkeen, Rafid, and Tanmawi. They are still in under development. Tamkeen, basically, we are helping other universities to start academic programs in social development. Rafid is dedicated to help faculty members to participate with the NGOs and to be active in the community. Tanmawi is for imams in masjids and how they can manage social initiatives for their mosques. And I'll come to some of these later on, inshallah. So this is just to give you an idea. This is the letter by the king approving starting the academy, and this is the accreditation of the national volunteering standard we developed, IDAMA. And this is the accreditation of Rashid program by the Ministry of Education. So just let me show you also our secrets here, how we work basically. As I said in the beginning, we depend a lot on literature surveys and trying to understand and benefit and from others, and make sure that we don't reinvent the wheel or do something wrong. So we try to learn from others as much as we can. This is why also we establish international collaboration with different universities, which I'm going to show inshallah in the next slides. These are the areas where we have been contracted by the Ministry of Human Resource and Social Development. We have been contracted to develop 30 occupational standards for the nonprofit sector across the kingdom. Alhamdulillah, we did develop all the occupational standards. Maybe this terminology is new to some of you. The occupational standard basically is taking a certain job and then specify all the tasks the professional in this job has to do, and then take each task by task and identify the skills, knowledge, competencies, behaviors the professional should be trained on in order to conduct this the service in a professional manner, and then collect all of this together in one document and try to develop then the qualifications for different levels according to the NCAA framework. So developing the qualification, for example, for master is different from diploma. So we decide how to dive in each subject according to the qualification level. Alhamdulillah, we developed all the qualification for these topics, and we opt to develop it for the 4th level, which is the associate diploma, since this is the need now in Saudi Arabia. And alhamdulillah, we managed to also develop some training materials on all of this, and we have been contracted recently to develop 15,000 NGO professionals on these 30 occupational standards. So this is the way how we develop the occupational standard. I will not go in details with it now because I want to give you more information on the ecosystem of the social development in Saudi Arabia at large. This is how we work in IDAMA. This is basically the way we developed IDAMA and the organizations we partner to build IDAMA and to accredit IDAMA, also NCVO from UK, Volunteering Now, CVA, and Skilled Effect to build the National Occupational Standard also. Nowadays, alhamdulillah, we are the only consultant in the kingdom to build volunteering centers in universities, and currently we are building 5 volunteering centers across the kingdom. We already finished one in Jeddah University. That was a very good pilot for us. Alhamdulillah, we learned a lot from it. And now we are also re-engineering or restarting our volunteering unit here and convert it from a unit to a center with extra tasks and objectives, including volunteering for faculty, employees, students, families, and everybody within KFUPM community. So this is the distribution of the volunteering unit we did till now. As you can see, we cover the whole kingdom, alhamdulillah. And we have 68 certified consultants to start this volunteering unit across the kingdom. And they are also participating in training volunteering managers across the kingdom. And now we are getting them also certified to train Rashid program for the 5,000 schools we are contracted to do. Alhamdulillah, we have a very good numbers in contributing to the volunteering activities across the kingdom. Let me give you more details about the Ra'id program. This is basically the Ra'id Basic and the Ra'id Advanced, as I told you. So we are trying here to take the student gradually from the basic principles of community service to the social innovation and try to introduce this terminology to them, how they can be active and impactful to their society, and this is helping building their leadership capabilities also, and so on. So we take them to Ra'id Advance in the ideation process, and then put together a business plan for their social initiatives, and make also the proper advocacy for their initiatives to be hosted in a certain NGO, and to be funded also, or to have a seed fund for their initiatives, and to pilot it. So this is the Ra'id Advance. Once it has been piloted successfully, and it is like a bankable initiative, if I may say, then we take it to Ra'id Professional, where we establish basically a sustainable body for it, and make it franchisable. We have a very good success stories, alhamdulillah. Some of our graduates, alhamdulillah, are already established the consultation firms in social development, and now they are getting contracts from different ministries across the kingdom. So this is how we designed the Ra'id program. No string attached. The student can exit at any point with a certificate, and then get also some support and consultation. They get also some working space within the academy. So we are not a social incubator, but we are trying to be an accelerator. And we do differentiate between the classical business entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship, where the social impact is a major outcome, and once the social impact is introduced, the whole model is changed according to the literature and the practice in the current models. And we did found a lot of differences between the business entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship. Anyway, the kingdom is moving very fast towards social investment companies, and those companies are classical investment with a social impact. So they concentrate on the impact as the major outcomes of the company, not the profit only. And most of those social investment are concentrating on the profit for sustainability, not to pocket the money. But some of them are also making very good money. If we take, for example, in the education, there are a lot of now schools are built as a social investment companies, where they reinvest the profit again in gifted student programs, in scholarship for poor students, and so on. So Ra'id is participating in giving the students and the youth basically the basic principles and tools to be active in building social enterprises. These are some initiatives started by our students, and these are the target students. So our goal basically is to cover the 50 universities across the kingdom, inshallah. And we are moving very well in this direction. Foundations and donations are waiting for us to enlarge our team and be able to eat more. But our plate is full now. So we are working towards having a non-profit company under Dhahran Techno Valley to be our operational arm and to be able to expand, inshallah. Let me move a little bit fast here towards Rashid. As I told you, Rashid is for schools, but when we piloted Rashid, we found that we need also to train not only the volunteering leaders within the school, but we need to also train schools principals and administrators across the kingdom. So now we have bigger numbers, and we divided Rashid in two parts also, Rashid professionals and Rashid for administrators. And as I said, we are targeting the 24,000 schools across the kingdom. Allah ya'een. Now we are contracted now to cover 5,500 schools, which is a big bite basically. But inshallah, with the company, inshallah, we will be able to cover the 24,000 schools across the kingdom. And now we are receiving requests to have Rashid in different regions also. So once the company is there, we're going to go internationally, inshallah ta'ala. So these are some strategic directions, but since I have only 4 minutes, I will go directly to the last 2 slides. Currently, alhamdulillah, we have a very active collaboration with the Lilly Family School of Philanthropy in Indiana University, and also with Arizona State University, the Lodestar Center in Nonprofit Leadership, Grand Valley State University for grant management, and RMIT University in Melbourne, Australia for youth programs, NCVO for volunteering, Cass Business School in City University of London for nonprofit leadership. And alhamdulillah, recently we have been accepted as a member in NASPA, which is the accreditation body for social development academic programs. These are some of our partners / clients, and this some names of our donors, basically. Needless to say, the main one is Al Fawzan. Okay, so let me finish with this slide. For me, the faculty members of KFUPM are playing a major role, basically, in our success. And I can see that the faculty member can participate actively in analyzing social needs for different societies. We are concentrating, for example, on youth development. As you can see, the RIDE program is directed towards student universities, youth. Rashid is directed towards youth, and so on, because we have a very young nation, and we want to invest more in developing youth and building youth leadership. So analyzing the social needs for youth, for example, or girls is a very active area, and we would like people to help in this role, basically. Not only for us, for any other organizations, for any foundations. We have more than 320 foundations in the kingdom currently. We have more than 3,000 endowments. We have more than 4,000 non-profit organizations registered officially. So there are a lot of organizations you can work with. One very important role, in my opinion, is to conduct literature survey and to learn from others, and to be able to collect information for social activists and impact investment, in order to learn from others instead of trying things from scratch. So conducting a literature survey is very, very essential. Initiating and managing collaboration with international institutions. This is where we really need to collaborate with international bodies, and I can see the faculty members are the best to initiate the collaboration, and I can see this as a result of the previous step. So after conducting the literature survey, we're going to select a certain bodies to collaborate with, based on the literature survey. As I showed you, there are a lot of areas for knowledge development, especially developing standards, which are going to impact the whole kingdom, maybe the region very soon. Putting social standard is a very challenging task, but very enjoyable also, because you can see the impacts on people very quickly, especially if you are working with a regulatory body. Conduct training, certification program, accreditation, as I showed in different programs. Also putting proposals for projects or for foundations or for endowments, how they can participate actively in the social development. And also one very important vehicle for social development is the endowments. And nowadays we have different tools also. As I mentioned, the social accelerator or the social incubators, the social innovation labs we are starting, and also the social enterprises and the social franchising, the social marketing. There are a lot of areas where we really need professionals and scientists to work in putting like framework for those areas for people to follow. I want to stop here, open the floor for some questions before we leave at 9:55. So thank you very much for being with me today. It's my pleasure to host you in Al Fawzan Academy anytime you want. And very happy to answer your questions, if any.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam alaikum.
Sorry, this is Dr. Hussein Balwili. I tried to raise my hand, but I couldn't. Anyway, I'm very fascinated by your talk, and to tell you the truth, I didn't know about Fawzan. I thought Fawzan has to do with the girls' education, so I never paid attention to that. So it's really very fascinating what you are doing. Personally, I don't know why Dad didn't invite any expert on nonprofit organization and volunteering in their activities. So I personally prefer the macroscopic approach, which means that we should concentrate on achievements in the volunteering areas, rather than the macroscopic approach, which seemed to be through your presentation dominating, which concentrate on the maybe on the number counting and form filling. And of course, if you follow that path, you might you oversee the real achievements. So personally, I'd like to thank you very much for your nice presentation, and I hope I'll be visiting you very soon in your center.
Most welcome, Doctor. Thank you very much for your comment. I think in Saudi Arabia, to be honest, on this, we don't have a nonprofit sector yet. We are establishing a nonprofit sector. So to have a sector, you must participate in the GDP, you must participate in the workforce. And I forget to tell you, by the way, what are the 2030 vision goals towards social development. So we participated, alhamdulillah, in putting these goals. The first one is to reach 1 million volunteers at least every year. And we are very, very, very near to this number. And the second one is to reach 6,000 NGOs. In 2015, we used to have 650. Nowadays, we have 4,200 plus. Alhamdulillah, the goal is to go to 6,000 and to participate in the national GDP by 5% and to employ at least 3% of the kingdom workforce in the nonprofit sector, to activate the endowment services and the corporate social responsibilities. And alhamdulillah, we have now the General Authority for Awqaf الهيئة العامة للأوقاف. We have also now a new regulations for the corporate social responsibilities and their participation in developing the society.
Yeah, Dr. Bassem, you need to develop a good KPI for this volunteering work, because if you see, for example, the best universities like MITs, etc., their students, they go to Africa and different wild areas, and they resolve problems on electricity, problems on water, social problems, etc. So what are the measures that you are going to use to decide that the volunteering work that you have done, or our students have done, or the people have done, is really of major importance?
Yeah, basically, our role now is to make the correct awareness, put the correct system to engage volunteers, because not all the organizations are very well prepared to start volunteering work. We saw that from the international best practices that volunteering can be easily misused, where companies are using volunteers to make money, and so on. So we are now establishing this practice. I'm putting the correct regulations for it. And then each body is putting its own KPIs for their volunteers. I mean, what impact they would like to do through volunteers. But as a national KPIs, we have the National Center for Nonprofit Organizations Development, which is overseeing, and it is the regulatory body for the nonprofit work in Saudi Arabia. And it is the one putting the national KPIs for volunteering.
Dr. Bassem, there are some questions in the chat.
Okay.
You want me to read it for you, or you go through them? There is one from Dr. Lamir. Please introduce a bit more about Arafid initiatives and how faculty could volunteer to these programs.
Sorry, I couldn't find the, okay. Please introduce a bit more about, oh, Rafid. Okay, nice. Okay, so Rafid program is very interesting, actually, because when we conducted a survey to the NGOs as what is your immediate need, guess what? Their immediate need for sure is financial support, right? This is why we initiated the first fundraising program in the kingdom. I'm not sure if it is the first one in the region, but we brought the fundraising school from Indiana, and we conducted 9 fundraising courses, different courses. And the second request was to have people think with them, design with them, plan with them. So they want minds. So we said the minds basically are in the universities. Those are the people who knows how to make correct research, how to do analysis, how to design, how to pilot, and so on. So there is a big gap now between the university faculty and the society, especially with the organizations like the non-profit organizations or the endowments, the awqaf. So this program basically is to give the faculty member the basic principles used in social development, and then get them involved in the society, or help them also to build their own initiatives, like the one for the students, but on an advanced level, how we can make something impacting the whole nation, for example, how we can bring, for example, successful stories or successful initiatives from around the world and localize it and work out all the deployment in the local context details, how we can make this knowledge transfer correctly. There are different areas for the faculty members. And as they get in touch with the society, they're going to find more and more very interesting areas. For example, one of the initiatives we are working on now is how we can motivate the faculty member to find a link between their scientific research in their areas and the social impact they can make with their research. And alhamdulillah, we convinced one of the foundation to give like a gift or allowance for the faculty member to put more effort in linking their scientific research in nano or in computer or in whatever, or even in mathematics to the social need. And there are a lot of nice work. If you just Google, for example, your measure with the social impact, you will be amazed about the effort for faculty members and their roles in the social impact. So this program is still, we are still building this program, Rafid, but we are targeting 72,000 faculty members across the kingdom by this program. And we have, alhamdulillah, very good number of foundations waiting for us to launch this program, and they are willing to fund it because this is going to make a significant impact, inshallah, in the society. Thank you for your question.
Lastly, there is another one there. I have completed the community work principles and fundamentals course, basic Rohit Basic, and passed the exam. What is the next step?
The next step is to go to Ra'id. If you finish Ra'id Basic, then please go to the Ra'id Advanced. And Ra'id Advanced is a very enjoyable journey. We have been working on it for quite a long time. We have very excellent facilitators with very deep experience in building and launching social initiatives. So please enjoy the journey for Ra'id Advanced and Ra'id Professional.
Thank you, Dr. Basim, for the nice presentation. We're going to stop now because of time. We are having another event at 10 a.m. So we want to thank everyone for joining this event. Hope to see you in other events throughout the reporting weeks. So thank you, everyone.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Salam. Thank you, Dr. Basim.
Mr. Sanawala, over to you.
Jazakallah khair.